Valley. Low 90s on Tuesday in the Treasure Valley, the same on Wednesday, low to mid 90s, and then cooling a bit on Thursday, upper 80s. Thursday, mostly sunny skies across this work week and temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s in Boise and the Treasure Valley. Stay tuned for more Idaho Matters coming up in just a moment. Support comes from listeners and St. Luke's, working with local, state, and federal officials to keep listeners informed with current information on the coronavirus, also known as COVID-19. Updated information, including resources and local hotline numbers, is available at stluke'sonline.org.
This is Idaho Matters. I'm Gemma Gaudette. Over the weekend, people gathered at the Idaho State House steps to hold a rally in support of Black Lives Matter. But this protest had a very specific angle: healthcare and its connection to systemic racism. Boise State Public Radio news reporter Heath Druzin was there, and he is joining us live, of course, over Zoom, to tell us how everything went. Hey there, Heath.
Hey, Gemma.
So what was the scene like Saturday? I mean, I saw pictures, and definitely, masks, social distancing were in place. So that was something I think you don't always see in some of these rallies. But who was there, and what was the mood like?
Well, there were hundreds of people. By my own count, I'd say a little over 400. So it was a pretty good crowd, and it was a very peaceful, sort of somber gathering. There were a lot of folks in lab coats and scrubs because this was a healthcare themed event, and a lot of doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers showed up. And very peaceful rallies, vigils, protests here, and this was no exception. There wasn't even really a particularly noticeable police presence, so it was a very relaxed atmosphere. None of these so-called counter-protesters showed up, so yeah, it was kind of a family event, and a very kind of laid back but somber.
And I did note in the beginning, just from a picture that I saw, Heath, that I did notice, people social distancing, people wearing masks. Was that pretty much how it was for everyone who attended in that crowd?
Yeah, and that was very similar to the vigil, which had some of the same organizers from Inclusive Idaho, and speakers. When they started the rally, they actually told people, hey, especially because this is a healthcare themed rally, we want to be very, very careful about social distancing, and we ask that everybody wear a mask. And looking out over the crowd, I don't think I saw a single person without a mask. Actually, it was impressive. It was frankly a lot better than I see out in the streets in Boise and in the grocery stores.
Yeah, isn't that the truth, right? Hey, we actually did an extended conversation about intersectionality last week. We'll make sure we link that again to our website for folks who haven't heard it. I think it's really worth a listen. But for people who have not heard of intersectionality, or who just really aren't sure what the connection with healthcare and racism are, can you explain why this rally had this specific focus?
Yeah, that's because there's huge racial disparities when it comes to healthcare access and health outcomes in this country, which has really kind of been laid bare by COVID-19. You've got a lot of minority groups dying at far higher rates than their white counterparts, and the important thing to keep in mind is this has nothing to do with biological differences. This is purely sort of structural differences in society, and a lot of different factors kind of coming to a head in the healthcare industry. And I spoke to respiratory therapist Gabrielle Davis, who was one of the speakers there, and she said it way better than I could have. So I think you've got that clip of her.
The first thing to remember is that race is not a health disparity. Racism is a health disparity. Right now, in the age of COVID, we know COVID disproportionately impacts Black and brown people more than any other group of people.
So Heath, what are then some of the changes that the organizers are calling for, in healthcare? Because you're right. I think that Gabby really, put it well. There is not a disparity when it comes to biological race. Race